Title: Timmy's Magic Shoes. Once upon a time, in a little village surrounded by tall, misty mountains, there lived a curious boy named Timmy. Timmy was no ordinary boy. He was small for his age, with messy brown hair that always seemed to stick up no matter how many times his mother tried to brush it. His shoes were always scuffed, his clothes often patched, and his face nearly always had a sprinkle of dirt from his endless adventures. But what made Timmy special was not how he looked, but the size of his dreams. Every day, Timmy would stand at the edge of the village and stare at the mountains. They were so high they touched the clouds, their snowy tips glowing golden in the morning light. Beyond those mountains, the villagers said, were strange lands full of wonders, shimmering lakes, endless forests, and cities made of glass. Timmy would sigh and say to himself, "If only I could go there. If only I could see what's beyond." But the mountains were impossible to cross. They were steep, dangerous, and filled with wild animals. No villager had ever dared to go over them, and the paths were too long and treacherous to take on foot. So, most people never thought about it at all. Most people, except Timmy. Most people except Timmy. One sunny morning, while chasing a runaway kite into the woods, Timmy stumbled upon something strange. At the base of an old oak tree, hidden beneath a pile of leaves, he found a dusty wooden box. The box was decorated with swirls and stars carved deep into its surface, and it had a tiny brass lock that had long since rusted away. Curious, Timmy brushed off the dirt, pried the box open, and gasped. Inside was a pair of shoes, but these were not just any shoes. They shimmered faintly in the dappled sunlight. They were bright red, with golden laces and soles that seemed to sparkle as if tiny stars were trapped inside them. They looked brand new, even though the box looked centuries old. Timmy picked them up and whispered, "Wow, who could have left these here?" He sat on a tree stump and slipped the shoes onto his feet. They fit perfectly, as if they had been waiting for him. The moment he tied the golden laces, he felt a strange energy buzzing up his legs, filling him with warmth. Timmy took one step, and suddenly, boing! He shot 10 feet into the air and landed softly on the ground. His eyes widened. He tried again. Boing! This time, he soared higher, nearly brushing the branches of the oak tree. "They're magic shoes!" Timmy shouted, his voice echoing through the woods. He laughed and jumped again, each leap carrying him higher and farther than he had ever gone before. It was as if he had springs built into his feet. He could bounce over rocks, skip across streams, and leap high enough to see the rooftops of the entire village. When Timmy returned home that evening, he could hardly contain his excitement. He told his parents about the shoes, but they just chuckled and shook their heads.
"Timmy, your imagination will take you far one day."
But when she turned away, Timmy did a little hop and landed on the roof of their cottage, grinning ear to ear. From that day on, Timmy practiced every morning and every night. He learned how to control the shoes, how to jump just high enough to pluck apples from the tallest tree, how to bound across rivers without getting wet, and even how to bounce in circles so fast he felt like he was flying. But in his heart, Timmy knew the shoes were meant for something bigger. He wanted to see what lay beyond the mountains. One misty dawn, Timmy stood at the edge of the village, staring at the towering peaks. His heart pounded with excitement and fear. Could he really do it? Could he really jump over mountains? He tightened the golden laces of his magic shoes and whispered, "Here goes nothing." Boing! He leapt high into the sky, soaring past treetops, past cliffs, higher and higher until he was level with the lower peaks. The wind roared in his ears, and the clouds brushed against his cheeks. But just as he thought he was going to make it, he began to fall short. He landed on a narrow ledge halfway up the mountain. His knees shook as he clung to the rocks.
"Maybe I need more practice."
Timmy didn't give up. Day after day, he tried again. Some days he soared higher. Other days he tumbled back down, rolling in the dirt. The villagers whispered about the boy who kept jumping toward the mountains. Some thought he was foolish. Others admired his courage. Still, Timmy never stopped. One afternoon, as Timmy sat on a rock catching his breath, he heard a soft voice. "Why do you keep trying?" Startled, Timmy looked around and saw an old man with a long white beard and kind eyes. He wore a cloak the color of midnight and leaned on a wooden staff.
"I want to see what's beyond the mountains, but I can't make it. I'm not strong enough."
Strength is not always about muscles. Sometimes it's about courage. Those shoes you wear were crafted long ago by people who believed in impossible dreams. They respond not just to your body but to your heart. If you truly believe you can soar over the mountains, the shoes will believe it too.
Timmy thought about this as the man vanished into the mist, leaving only the echo of his words. That night, Timmy dreamed of soaring high above the peaks, the whole world stretching out before him. When he awoke, he felt different, braver, lighter.
The next morning, Timmy stood once more at the foot of the mountains. The villagers had gathered, curious to see what he would do. Some cheered, others laughed, but Timmy ignored them all. He closed his eyes, took a deep breath, and tied the golden laces tightly. "I believe," he whispered.
Boing! This time, he shot into the air higher than ever before. The ground fell away, the mountains grew smaller beneath him, and the clouds wrapped around him like cotton. He soared over the first peak, then the second, then the tallest of them all. His heart raced with joy. He was flying, no, he was leaping across the impossible. When he landed on the other side, the villagers gasped. Timmy stood on a meadow bathed in golden light. Before him stretched a world unlike anything he had ever imagined. Rolling fields of flowers as far as the eye could see, rivers that sparkled like silver ribbons, and distant towers glimmering in the sun. Timmy laughed out loud, his voice echoing across the valley. He had done it. He had gone beyond. But Timmy's adventure didn't stop there. Each day he discovered something new. He bounded across crystal lakes, jumped over deep canyons, and even leapt from treetop to treetop in enchanted forests where the trees whispered secrets. He met people from distant villages, traded stories with traveling merchants, and once even helped a shepherd gather his runaway sheep by bouncing across the hills like a rubber ball. Word of the boy with magic shoes spread quickly. People began to call him the Sky Jumper. Children would cheer when they saw him leap across the horizon. And though Timmy loved the attention, he never forgot his village on the other side of the mountains. Every few weeks he would leap back home, bringing with him stories of the wonders he had seen. One evening, as he sat under the stars, Timmy thought of the old man's words. "Courage," he whispered. "That's the true magic." The shoes had given him the power to jump, but it was his heart that had carried him beyond the mountains. Years passed and Timmy grew taller, but he never lost his sense of wonder. He used his magic shoes not for fame or riches, but to help others, to deliver medicine to villages cut off by floods, to carry messages across lands faster than anyone else could, and to bring hope to people who had forgotten how to dream. And sometimes, when the night was quiet and the moon was bright, Timmy would stand on a mountain peak, tie his golden laces, and leap into the sky, laughing as the stars twinkled around him. For as long as he lived, Timmy never stopped believing in the impossible. And wherever he went, people whispered about the boy who could jump over mountains, the boy whose courage turned dreams into reality.